Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to 3Y TV. And tonight, it is round number 4 of the 2022 OSCA Sportsman Series. And tonight, we're at Cirque de Spa here in where's this at again? This Belgium. There we go. I had a look. I had to read. All right, with me is. Hi, Mike Goodman, and with me is Matthew Bayuk and Carlos Acosta behind the scenes there, running the show, and it's the IK Ben
Schneinheit. Ik ben Schneinheit.
IK Ben Schneinheit. 126. Well, can I ask what that means?
You expect us to remember how to say that?
Yeah.
It means I am speed.
Ooh, I like it.
In Dutch.
I'm just gonna say I am speed 126, but it's
no, you're not.
Because you're going to forget the name of the race and go to read it, and you're not going to know what that means.
Here, I'll type it in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Okay. And, yeah, anyway, we're here for round number 4. And today we have some, new faces, some OSCA invites here tonight. And we can see if Nick Indelcato can keep that dominance right now. They are currently under qualifying session here, Matthew, as we get cars on track, getting ready to qualify. 10 minutes to qualify. There you look at the standings. And as kind of the tale has been most of the season so far is Nick Indelcato domination. But tonight we do have Mr. 3-time champion Johnny Eckert coming out of retirement for one race. Can he kind of break that streak up here a little bit?
It could be Johnny Eckert. I mean, yeah, technically, but it is only one race, but he still could break up a little hot streak here. And not just Johnny Eckert, by the way. We've got Cameron Rich here filling in for Brian Osborne. He set the fastest time in practice ahead of Kean Riley. As a matter of fact, Nick Indelcato was only about 5th in practice. I say only, that's still pretty good, but he was 5th in practice, about half a second off the top 4, so you know, he'll be up there and he'll run good, but outside of the top 5, we've still got guys like Chad Baer who are always good at road courses. It is a particularly strong field, and every time we go international in OSCA, it seems to draw a big field and a bunch of guys who don't usually run, and it always makes it for such an exciting race.
It's almost like a throwback kind of deal. We have the road course ringers we kind of used to see in the NASCAR series, and you still sometimes see it in the Xfinity series, but used to be more prominent in the Cup series. Guys like Ron Fellows, Boris Said, Scott Pruitt, kind of filling in for some of these rides, or even kind of coming up with new rides. I think Chip Ganassi did that a couple times for Pruitt, and I can't remember, Ron Fellows also for DEI, stuff like that back in the day. Kind of cool to see the new faces out there. Oh, we got a spin there by Damien.
It's definitely not the first time or last time you'll see that today.
Yeah, it's a very, very tricky course. And sometimes the false sense of speed and grip that you have, all of a sudden last second, you can lose it. See Damien trying to get back out there once again to get his qualifying lap. But yeah, so this could be kind of a situation. You know, I think we had last week's half one winner, Cooper Johnson, kind of say that, you know, he was glad to get that win out of the way at Kentucky, because now he can kind of take it easy here a little bit. You know, I'm sure for a lot of these guys out in the field, it's just trying to do the old thing, keep it between the digits.
Absolutely, and you know, asking all the drivers that question before the race, like I do all of them, how they think it's going to go. Far and away, the most common response was keeping it on track and keeping it between the curbs. And if I had to go with the top 3 responses here...
Oh, no, guys.
What happened?
We have a sad development.
Oh.
Austin Beers can't make it tonight. Vic told us not to.
Oh, we don't need...
But we have to make it a big deal. We can't make it...
We got to make it a huge deal.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that had to happen.
Sorry,
hopefully
Austin.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, mechanical issues for Beers, but so hopefully he didn't get. Hopefully, well, now whatever his answer was is probably thrown out the window. But what other kind of comments did you have from drivers?
I'll say top 3. Number 1, keep it on the track. Number 2, patience. And number 3, I found quite interesting, past experience. A lot of these guys told me that they have ran Spa in multiple different disciplines of racing and multiple different cars. And even though obviously a stock car is a lot heavier and clunkier, they're hoping to lean on that past experience to try and help them get around here.
Guys, we have a
We got
previous interview.
Oh, yeah, Austin Beers. We got him up in the booth with this development. Austin, what's going on here tonight, bud?
My computer just keeps freezing. I'm trying to figure it out, but just unfortunate.
If you think you can, you've got a few minutes. Do you think maybe?
At least log into the
trying.
session.
I've been trying for like an hour.
It's probably better
Man.
to not risk it.
Yeah, I'll just. Hopefully, I'm back for next week and I can win North Wilkesboro.
Yeah,
Can you
throwback
believe-
North Wilkesboro. Oh, go ahead.
Can you believe that Vic tried to keep this quiet to not give you any airtime?
That's not true. That's
Uh-oh.
not true.
He can hear
I
us.
can defend myself. That's not true.
Oh, he's not deafened anymore.
He was only muted this time. He can hear us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm back next week, and especially after missing last week, that also sucked with the real life racing. So just sucks not running 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you back out there in the throwback. I got to ask you too quick here. Any big throwback plan for North Wilkesboro?
I think we got like a team one going. We might have our whole team doing like the same, not the same throwback, but the same team throwback. So that's exciting.
Nice. Can't wait to see that. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you out here next week. Carlos, do you have anything else to add?
I actually have two things to add. One,
Oh, no.
I didn't know it was a throwback event, but my 87 Cup car that we're running next week for the Chicken to Shock series, it's an old 87 Tops theme scheme I did. That's gonna be fun. Also, this is more of a question for Vic. Because Austin did attempt to be here during practice and would have qualified, is he going to technically be getting last place points, or will he end up using a provisional?
We don't have provisionals or that. We'll have to figure something out.
A tough break for Austin Beers. Mechanical issues plagued him before the race even started. But next week, Austin, it's a short track for that short track kid.
Yeah, gonna go try to get the monkey off my back.
What a good track to do it. We'll looking forward to that, and looking forward to the race here tonight. Maybe kick back, watch the race, and eat some popcorn.
Yeah, I'm gonna really have the car owner role here going. So have fun, guys.
Yep, you too. Austin Beers having a little bit of issues here tonight, as we've seen some guys get off the track here during qualifying.
Might
right
be a
now.
good.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it might be a good time to grab our picks in real quick before we run through the starting lineup right after qualifying here.
Yeah, as of
Oh,
right
well,
now,
let's take a
Cameron
look
Rich
at
is
the
on the pole.
standings and see
we
just
gotta
how
take a
good
look.
we all are.
Hey,
Well, Carlos, I mean, if you pick first, you get to take your guy.
You know what?
Yeah.
Sure. You know what? I don't get to do it often here in OSCA, but I'm gonna go with a rarely used pick. I'm gonna pick Cameron Rich.
What?
That's a shocker.
He really blew the lid off there. But Matthew, who do you got?
For in a million years would I have ever guessed Carlos picking Cameron Rich.
That
See,
blows my mind.
this was my plot the whole time. I was constantly choosing bad picks so I could be last, and then that way I could choose Cameron Rich first.
Man, what a strategy! It pays off. We'll see if it pays off in the end after half number one here. But Matthew, your pick is up.
Between second, third, and fourth, I've got varying reasons to pick those guys, but I think I'm just going to use the same reason as Carlos. How often am I going to get to pick Johnny Eckert in an OSCA race? I'm going to go with probably one of the easier picks that I'll ever make in a OSCA series race. I'll go Eckert for half one.
So you kind of leave me with the best of the rest. And,
Still pretty good.
Still, I mean, I still got some pretty good choices indeed. And I'm going to go with Kean Raleigh here tonight. He put on a good show last week at Montreal, or last year, season, I should say, at Montreal. I expect him to be in the mix tonight. And I'm thinking we could have another one of those, all of our picks should be battling it out here for the win, I think, by the end of the day. And, of course, they are top three here as the qualifying order, as qualifying has wrapped up.
Just
By the way,
about.
For those of you that are hearing that, that's
interesting.
That's not the ESPN thing. That's I believe that's a siren that gets or I guess what's the word that gets played when a car exits pit road. I believe. I'm not fully sure.
Interesting. Interesting. Different stuff going on here at Spa, Circuit de Spa. And we'll go through the driver lineup here as the cars are gridding up for the race. And again, on the pole, he'll be number 47 on the racetrack, but number 15 on the scorecards. That's the Cameron Rich filling in for Brian Osborne in the 6415 Racing Toyota. And he's from Yorktown, Virginia. And alongside him is Mr. three-time champion, the OSCA Invite car, Johnny Eckert. And he's from Long Island, New York.
Third for Shift Esports from Highland Heights, Kentucky is Kean M. Riley, starting to his outside. And the number 84 OSCA Invite car from Clintwood, Virginia, Chad Bear.
And in the next row, starting in fifth, is our points leader, Nick Indelcato for Shift Esports, and he's out of Syracuse, New York. And alongside him, we do have another OSCA Invite. He should be a guy who could make some noise here as well. That's Zac Zachary Rogers. He's running in a Ford, and he's out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Starting seventh for Shift Esports from Peabody, Massachusetts, Seth Rawls into his outside, and the number 83 from Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania for Beers Motorsports, Vincent Isabella.
And starting in the 9th spot, all the way from, I lost it now. There we go. Worcester, Massachusetts, in the S2 racing team. The Shift Esports sister team is Gilberto Javier Gomera. I don't know where I was going there. Carlos. And starting alongside him, another guy we can laugh at. That's in the 12 car out of South Shore Racing. He's from Bakersfield, California, and that's Damien Leininger.
Back at the 6th row, it's John Lynch for In-Law Racing from Yulee, Florida, starting 11th. His outside, Kyle Carlson in the number 18 Nurse Aviator Racing Chevrolet from Minnesota.
And starting 13th is the young buck from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, in the Weekends Woodman Chevrolet. It's Camden Tufts, and alongside him is another guy from out of country. It's Kynan Jones, the Land Shark, and he's from Blackwater, Queensland, Australia, and he's running for In-Law Racing.
Starting in the 15th position from Struthers, Ohio for Shift Esports is Dallas Myhand. To his outside for Three Pedal Mafia from New Jersey is David Carpenter.
And in the next row, starting in the 17th position, he's the rookie that won last week at Kentucky. He's running for Beers Motorsports out of St. Paul, Minnesota. It's Cooper Johnson. And starting alongside him, another OSCA Invite in the number 33 Ford from all the way from Alberta, Canada. It's Nathaniel Cherry.
And coming next, starting 19th, Zach Evans from Princeton, North Carolina, Wally Racing. To his outside, it's going to be Adam Tepe, the number 96, starting 20th. Adam for South Shore Racing from South Bend, Indiana.
And we got another Wall-E Racing Ford. This gentleman's out of Charleston, South Carolina, and that is Mr. Ray Bracey. And alongside him in the 21-64-15 Racing Toyota from Hollowbrook, Massachusetts, it's Thomas Capuano. What?
Sorry. Starting 23rd is Alex Kenton from Wyoming for Nurse Aviator Racing. To his outside, and the number 10 for Shift 2 Racing Team from Asheville, North Carolina, Ty McIntosh.
I want to specify that was a joke. That wasn't me making a comment.
All right, starting at 27th is Brett Jones for Mountain Type Motorsports, and he's from Door, Michigan.
You skipped Monticelli.
I did skip Monticelli. My bad. Okay, I'm back. I'm wrong row. Okay, sorry, Monticelli. In 27, another OSCA Invite, and he's in Hamlin, New York. And alongside him is Timothy Conrad, the Weekend Woodsman team, and he is from Ohio. Oof.
Now starting 27th from Door, Michigan for Mountain Type Motorsports, it'll be Brent Jones. To his outside, starting in 28th, an uncharacteristically slow lap from one of our best road course ringers, David Westergreen. From Illinois for South Shore Racing, David Westergreen.
In 29th is Adam Peeler for Nurse Aviator Racing from South Carolina. And alongside him is going to be Scott Zachary for 6415 Racing, and he's out of Buffalo, New York.
Starting 31st is... I'm going to go back to that. Hang on. Aaron Lineman from Ocean, New Jersey. To his outside is Cody McLean in the number 5 machine for Weekend Woodsman from Rochester, Pennsylvania.
All right, next up we have Dustin Dewer starting 33rd in the number 32 Do Good Motorsports Chevrolet, and he's out of Medford, Wisconsin. And alongside him is Jack Ely for Beers Motorsports, and he's from Wall, New Jersey.
From Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, from Mountain Type Motorsports, it'll be Robert Hill Jr. starting 35th. To his outside, Chris Gutierrez in the number 16 Nurse Aviator Racing Chevrolet from Kansas.
In 37th, it's the 66, the rookie Neil Rutt for 3 Pedal Mafia, and he's out of Colts Neck, New Jersey. And rounding out the field is the number 39, Jordan Tarble for Mountain Type Motorsports, and he's out of Thomasville, North Carolina.
Man, I gotta say, I don't know if Carlos heard it, but when you said Zach, Scott, Nicky, you said, I'm pretty sure you said something like Scott, Zach, Nicky.
Oh, did I just pull over it?
You just
Get ready, guys. Here we go.
I'm trying to.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting the green and the standing
green
start. We
flag.
are off. The standing start here, and that's gonna get a good jump there for Johnny Eckert.
well, they're 3 wide already.
And this is where it can get hectic with that standing start. Johnny Eckert getting off to a good start. Kian Rally right behind. Nick Indelcato moves up into 3rd. Cameron Rich falls all the way back to the 5th position, so not a good start. And with that standing start, it's kind of an art form of itself.
It is, and you know, I have to think it was really quick from the end of that starting lineup when the lights probably popped up in front of him. I don't know if he was quite ready for it. Not only did he get going slowly, he got put in the middle of 3 wide because of not getting going slowly, and he backed out of it to live another day. And just like that, winning pole means nothing for him.
And around goes the 14, and
Kenton.
that is Alex Kenton. Trying to get back on the racetrack as you see the battle on the top of your screen for the lead between Kian Rally and Johnny Eckert. And of course, these guys do not have enough fuel to finish this half. And again, I think we failed to mention.
Wait, what?
14, or I think 15 laps per half, and what's it, top 4, I believe, invert?
Top 4 invert, and as far as fuel goes, it figures to be about 11 or 12 laps as far as you can make it on fuel. And it's not like you can save a lap or 2 here. No. You're not going to be able to save enough fuel to go to the end. These drivers will have to pit. You might see some come early.
Top 6 invert.
Top 6 invert.
Top 6, okay.
You might see some come early to avoid mid-race traffic. You might see some guys stretch it out as long as they can. We'll have to see. But I think the earliest you'll see guys come to pit road is lap 4 to make it all the way.
I think we got
That's
another
kinda
red
window
Capuano. Western Green, Dustin Dewer.
Oh man, big wrecks going on there. Another car going around. That might be 18. Dewer looks like he's still going. Oh, I think that's Conrad that went around at 35. Oh, and he gets into the wall. Man, that looks just vaguely familiar to the Strictly Stock race earlier, something I might have done.
He didn't last all
Battle
too
for
long.
the lead. It did not last long at all. But speaking of maybe not lasting, looked like Kian and Johnny were kind of checking away from the field here. Now Nick Indelcato and Cameron Rich are kind of closing back in. So there could potentially, even with Bear, there could be almost 5 cars in this battle for the lead before it's all said and done.
Absolutely. And wow, here comes Eckert. Eckert just took the lead. He got a really good fire off that hairpin there, and I think Riley might have just gave it to him. He knew it was going to happen. Eckert definitely got the better exit.
Yeah, and he's shot out right now to about a 0.3 of a second
But here
lead
comes
over Kian Rally.
Kian's got to run here. He's going to take it.
Yeah, he's going to take it on the inside. He's going to take the lead back. So there's almost as many lead changes between these two as if they're at Daytona or Talladega right now. And now Nick Indelcato going to get around Johnny Eckert as well. I wonder if Johnny is kind of just maybe maintaining his stuff here just a little bit.
I think one of 2 things. Maintaining his stuff, and what does Johnny Eckert have left to prove? He's pulling over for Cameron. He's pulling over for a lot of guys here, actually. He's letting like 5 or 6 cars go. I have to wonder, one of 2 things. Maybe he's just trying to have some fun and pass some cars, or if he's being mindful of the fact that everybody here's racing for points and he's just having fun. Either way, you know, it's a lot of respect.
Yeah, you know, it's come a long way since, you know, Johnny Eckert's heydays here in OSCA. You know, he kind of walked away from tracks like Watkins Glen. Here's got more competition with Rally Indocado and Cameron Rich as well, and Chad Bear. So he's running two guys in that mix too that are kind of here on a one-off basis, in Rich and Bear. And yeah, I think maybe a little fun. Try not to get into the battle between Rally and Indocado, who are running for points.
Oh, we got a hood that's missing.
Cody McLean in the 5.
Not very clean.
Yeah, not looking too clean right now. His engine might get a little dirty with no hood on it.
Man, I have to say, I'm looking throughout the field. I'm impressed. I mean, like, look, I know they're all being careful, but like, it's Spa. These guys don't ever go here in this car. Seldom do they probably race here at all. And there's a lot of clean battling going on the track. I expected way more chaos and way more carnage, but these guys have been really holding it together.
Yeah, and especially, I'm sure there's a chunk of guys that at least before the week, you know, after we left Kentucky, probably did not own this racetrack on the iRacing service. And to, you know, with that limited time, potentially for some of these guys to, with the practice, everything's going relatively well so far.
By the way, DJ Weeks did mention on chat, and that's a good eye on DJ. As we got a couple of cars losing on the last corner. Johnny Eckert slowed down, not out of kindness, but because he cut Ill Road.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? You mentioned it. I looked right at it and didn't even think about it.
Fastest lap of the race, Cameron Ridge.
Oh, look at your pick is on the move.
Also, Kean Riley has yet to run a lap without getting an X.
I was actually just looking at that. I was trying to compare lap times between. What did we lose?
Like we have some.
No,
did we lose somebody?
It was my head. It was in my head. I thought somebody was about to spin out, but they did a great job saving it.
Oh, they. Ooh, getting us nervous here, as we have 12 laps to go. So we're getting pretty close to that window opening up. Probably, maybe another lap or two before that window opens up. We'll see if anyone chooses to do that, to come down pit road. Right now, Kean Riley pulling away with a 1.3 second lead over Indocado, and Indocado's got a fearful of Cameron Rich.
Yeah, I was going to say he got in there a little bit hot. Cameron Rich, I was going to say something about it in qualifying. I watched his qualifying lap, and it was art. It was smooth. It was buttery. There was no question on whether he had control of his car or not. And I just don't know if Indocado. Yeah, and then I saw a standing start. But I just don't know if Indocado. I mean, Indocado's fast. I just don't know if he's quite as sound and slide proof as that 47 is. I really like the way Cameron Rich is probably taking care of his tires here.
Yeah, and we kind of seen how wide even Kean is taking these corners, as we have an in-car cam of road course ace, Mr. Refine Zach Evans. I'm going to ask him not to wave during the race here. He's got his hands full. Yeah. and he's not even breaking concentration. Oh, he did not his head though.
Okay, yeah, he hears us.
Keep your eyes on the windshield.
He's got a windshield full of race cars right now.
He did go over the driver's chair. I think he overdrove the corner. No, this might be our fault. Oh,
he saved it.
He saved it. Me fine.
Look at that $1 million smile.
With the Zach Evans with the me fine move of the race, right there. Here on lap number 4, Zach Evans. Look at him smiling. We're distracted him racing. He's losing spots, unfortunately. You know, this in-car cam, definitely a gift in the car.
Oh, wait, no, he does have, he's missing a front bumper. He did hit the wall.
Oh, yeah, no.
Monticelli in the 13 as well having issues.
Oh, and there's contact.
Oh, he's not happy there.
Oh, and around goes Evans. Yeah.
Oh, man.
You can back it up. Back it up, Terry.
I think he's got an opening here to try to shoot in, and he's going to keep going.
All right, you know what? I'm going to do him the favor. I'm going to cut away from him.
Yeah, I think
maybe we should.
He's probably going to have his one hand off the wheel, and it might not be a wave. It might be a one-finger salute there for Zach Evans. But you seen his hand movement on like how much he has to kind of wheel this car around here, and it's definitely no easy feat.
No, absolutely not. I will say, though, what I've been looking at lately, one guy who's had a little bit more of a steady wheel here, Kyle Carlson.
Oh!
We made notes several times. Oh, goodness.
Not a steady wheel for Leininger there in the 72 going off course.
As I was saying with Carlson, is last season we made notes several times on his qualifying pace and how he does put together fast laps. And here I'm looking at lap times. The next 4 guys in front of him significantly slower that last lap. He's running about 10th. I'm wondering to see as this race gets further into, maybe he'll make up even more ground and get within that top 5.
Yeah, and wondering, I think maybe a lot of practice effort put in. We've seen him lay down, I believe, at Montreal. I can't remember if he was a pole sitter or he qualified in the top 5. And he was running good, but he kind of over his equipment out. But right now, as you said, holding that steady wheel.
Guys, it looks like we had some bad intel.
73.
It looks like we had some bad intel. You guys were right. It is top 4, like an inversion.
Top 4. Oh, we were right for once?
In my defense, the race notes say top 6.
Okay. But we still were right, so mark it down. Yeah.
Hashtag me somewhat fine.
Blame race control for the miscorrection. the miscorrection there. That is my fault.
Come on, we got to blame Carlos once in a while.
Now you can blame me.
No, it's fine.
Oh, Vic, he's trying to be the gentleman there. I'm still blaming Carlos.
Very gentlemanly has been this top 3, by the way. Nothing wild from them. They're all kind of just sitting around each other. I don't think I've seen the gap between them increase or decrease much. As who do we have here? Do we have a car on pit road? Is that my hand? My hand, Dallas, my hand on pit road.
On pit road, the pit window has opened up. He's going to try to take a gamble and see if he can gain any spots from coming down pit road. Let's see. Yeah, Kean's still holding it. It's that same 1.3 right around that pace over Nick Indalcato. Cameron Rich, yeah, it's crazy how these guys can kind of maintain that pace, and I'm wondering if it's just a point where, you know, they kind of just settle in until, you know, once they make their green flag pit stops.
I mean, 14 laps this half, 15 laps next half. Those are not large lap amounts, but it's about mileage too. They cover a lot of ground around here, and it's still a pretty long event. So absolutely, there would be no reason to push hard now and use it all up, because later on, I mean, I was talking to some guys before the race as far as strategy goes. Apparently floating around is the possibility of not taking tires at all and only taking fuel and saving about 10 seconds on pit road by the end of this race.
And actually a lengthy pit stop for Dallas Mayan. See him just getting off pit road. I don't know if that's because pit road's, I think, a little bit longer here.
Oh, driver of the number 72, Aaron Leininger, just sent me a message on Discord. I don't know if I'm allowed to repeat it.
Oh no!
It's funny. It's just a little. It's a little inappropriate, but it's funny.
Can you
Is it
clean
one
it
of
up
the
at
words
all?
we can't say on TV?
What? I was going to ask you for that list.
But... me fine. No, me fine.
No, fine.
Oh no! Zach Evans going around Western Green, masterful road course ace, gets around him, and he keeps on trucking. That number 9. And hey, we showed his car, Urska. How about that? His sponsor, just winding down. And you know, Western Green, talking to him a little bit during practice, very frustrated about getting used to this racetrack. And you know, he might have had the X there, Carlos, but overall that car looks really clean at this point during the race.
Sure it does.
It could certainly look a lot worse. I've seen worse so far.
Oh yes, and right now he is currently running back into 30th position, but I think for some of these guys, just the feat of having somewhat of a clean race car is pretty huge. And you know, talking about him earlier, Kyle Carlson, he's looking to try to make some moves as he's caught right up to the back bumper of Kynan Jones.
Yeah, his pace has slowed down a little bit, but he has caught up to Kynan and Vincent Isabella. I want to say Vincent was up in the 6th position earlier. He gained a couple spots, dropped back down. Overall still there. Who is that rejoining? Right? That's Neil Rutt.
Right?
Oh my, lots of fast traffic. Lots of fast traffic.
How do you enter pit road?
I don't know. It's in that chicane, isn't it?
I don't know either. That's why I'm asking.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
It's
it's.
the F1 pit entry.
Yep. Yeah, you
Oh,
go through that
Kenton.
chicane and instead of
Oh.
making it. Oh.
Caden Tuft off the racetrack.
Rookie sensation.
Rookie sensation, young buck, 14 years old.
Oh, Cameron second.
Yeah, Cameron made that pass for second just a little earlier on the bottom of your screen, as you see him there. Getting around in Delgado. So he's kind of worked his way back up from starting on that pole and that standing start, I think, kind of catching him off guard. I'm pretty sure in the second half, Cameron should launch a whole lot better.
Yeah, and you know, I was going to say, even through Cameron making his way up, it's allowed Kean to jump out to a bit of a gap here. But I would be concerned
Oh,
how
this
fast,
spot.
just how close this top 5 is. Huh?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was going to say, with just how fast and how close this top 5 is, Cameron Rich was still able to pass his way all the way back up to second. That doesn't bode well for the driver of the 11 for the rest of the race. I don't think Cameron Rich is going to stay that far back for that long.
Yeah, and he's closing in ever so slightly. I think Kean had a little bit over a 2-second lead and shaved just a couple tenths off of that time since he's moved up into that second spot. So Cameron definitely is closing, but again, a long way to go. 9 laps ago, I think they're about to hit the start finish line.
Johnny Eckert
8
on the
laps
pit
ago.
road. Eckert's on pit road.
So Eckert's playing his strategy. It's kind of now he's a part-time driver. He's kind of changing his strategy up. Usually he's the guy who stays out on the racetrack the longest, but he is the one of the first
Cooper Johnson.
leaders. If
Cooper
Johnson
Johnson
come down
ducking
pit
to pit
road.
road.
Oh, that's where it is.
And I think a guy like Cooper Johnson, he was running in the top 15 when he came down pit road. You know, kind of after talking to him in Victory Lane last week, I'm sure he's got to be pretty happy about his run right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even just in the context of winning a race, it makes everything a little bit better. You get to win, you get a good run, and then you come out at a road course next week. Don't qualify spectacularly, but he was really making up some good ground there on that green flag run. That win can do wonders for you as far as momentum. I think Cooper Johnson definitely has some momentum being carried through to this race right now.
A little bit of that swagger going on. And right now, Damien Leininger and Kenton Tufts, currently sitting in that 11th and 12th position, trying to chase down John Lynch. Those guys having probably a little bit better run than they thought as well. Well, Cannon's was a little bit better before he went off track, but he's trying to get that track position back here.
Yeah,
but,
it hasn't really taken him that much time to get back up to these guys. You see, he's fishtailing it pretty good, but I guess isn't everybody at this point. It seems like the rear tires are not hanging very tough here.
yeah, I think with a lot of these, there's a couple kind of chicane, almost like turns, especially right before the start-finish line. Some pretty heavy turns where you got to get on the gas if you want to get going, and I think some of the rear tires slipping. You see, yeah, a lot of fishtailing a lot of these guys. Oh, and speaking of,
that's a little more than a fishtail.
Oh, and he saves it.
Well, hang on, he's still saving it.
Oh,
He's
no.
still saving it.
Oh no, Carpenter
He's still
gets
saving
around
it.
Ty McIntosh. Wow.
That save was 2 corners long.
Man, that might have
Well,
been.
hang on, he's still sliding.
Oh, he is slide. He might have burnt those tires up.
They're going. I don't know what's left of him. Hang on, he could slide again. Yeah, he's sideways again.
Man, he is dirt track. Yeah, Mr. T-Rex has eaten the tires off that machine. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes down pit road this time by.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wants. Here's the problem. You come back down pit road this time by. I mean, there's really no winning it. He's got to go about the same amount of laps to the rest of the race. It's gonna be tire management. You can take tires now if you want, but if you can't manage them, and while Damien does not come to pit road, a lot of other guys do. Caden Tufts, John Lynch, Dave Carpenter, Ray Bracey, a lot of guys ducking down to pit road now.
A lot of guys strategizing, and as Damien does stay up, he works his way into the top 10 with kind of this pit cycle going on at the moment. And kind of just keeping an eye on Johnny Eckert, who was one of the first of the top 5 that came down pit road, currently scored in that 23rd position, and see if how some of the guys that he really hasn't run with before, he's kind of right in there
How
with
long
Brent
is this
Jones,
pit road?
Dustin Dewer.
It's extremely long.
Yeah, I think it's really long.
It
I-
is
I-
actually
very
do you actually want to know how long it is?
Yes.
you don't-
Do you have a number for us, Vic?
It's just under a mile long.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
Vic.
That's a
Hey,
lot.
Vic.
Yes.
You're
Why?
wanted.
Why? Because
Yeah,
we didn't have enough pit stalls otherwise.
Oh, you know what? That's a very good reason why I will take it back. I thought it was as a joke.
You received, yeah.
Yeah.
And thinking about that, for some of you, that's the length of Dover. That's the length of New Hampshire just for pit road, and that probably kind of explains the extended stays on pit road for a lot of these guys. Just getting on and off pit road, just a lengthy process, and maintaining that speed. I think it's about 37 miles an hour on pit road. That's got to be pretty tough to be disciplined for that long. I don't know if I can do it.
I'm looking at pace right now, and it's impressive. Cameron Rich is the only driver on the racetrack that is still running laps under 2:32. And Delgado and Rowley have both fallen to the 32s. Cameron Rich's last lap out, a 31.6.
Yeah, so Rich right now is maintaining that pace, as you say, and I think that could pay off in the long run.
Yeah, he's closed up, as you can see. I mean, last time when he made that pass, he was a little further back. He's closed right up to Kean, and to be honest with you, kind of looks like Delgado has maybe gained a little bit on Rowley too. Maybe he's learned a little bit running from behind that 47 machine.
Well, that last
Yeah,
lap
kind of
was
talk
faster,
about
right?
what. Oh wow, yeah, Delgado definitely getting some chips there behind Cameron Rich, and that's what I was going to ask you, because I feel like a lot of my road course skill, if you can even call it that, but it is just picking up kind of the braking points and when to let off and when to get back on the gas. Like, how much do you think you could pick up from just kind of following a guy that's ahead of you?
A lot. The same applies for ovals, but even more so for road courses. I mean, for as good as you can be on these road courses, there's so much technique and there's so much, because every corner is different. Every corner requires a different skill set for braking and applying the throttle and hitting the apex right. It's so technical, and you could do it great. I mean, Delgado is a great road course racer, but so is Cameron Rich. He could learn a thing or two from running behind Cameron Rich for as good as he is. So, I mean, I don't think there's ever a limit to the extent to which you can learn.
Oh boy. Yeah,
I will say
and-
this: running the Strictly Stock Series was a lot of fun. I spent hours practicing this track because I'm a really bad road racer and I don't know this track at all. I had fun doing all of that. The race was fun. I mean, there were a couple of not fun moments, but overall, I had a great time running a road course like this. This is just something you don't really appreciate until after you do it. And a lot of people may go with it with the wrong mentality, or they just probably just don't like road racing, which is fair. But it's just something that's difficult to do. But once you finish doing it, whether you did it well or bad, it's just something you appreciate.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for me, my Strictly Stock race did not last
You
long.
didn't get that many laps in.
No, but and that's and I can say that as well, as especially sometimes even if you're all by yourself, sometimes just trying to master the track, not having the skills that these top three of Delgado, Rich, and Rowley have. Just appreciating how much fun it is sometimes to get around the track, because it is so much different than what we kind of do week in, week out, and sometimes just watching like these
Oh,
three
wow!
coming up
Three,
to the lead,
all three of them.
coming down pit road, synchronized.
Here, let's take a look at how long it takes to go down to their stall.
Oh, it's
That's
gonna
a sound. When somebody enters pit road, that's the sound.
It's a really weird sound.
Yeah.
Somebody else is entered pit road. Chad Bear went with him.
Yeah.
So the top four cars come down pit road. We'll see if Zac Rogers, who's in that fifth spot, looks like he stays out on the racetrack. He'll inherit the lead with 5 laps to go, but he will still have to come down pit road. Look at how long. Still haven't even got to their pit stalls yet.
Oh, if you hit
No,
the wall.
there's the cone there.
Wow.
Now we're officially in the zone. Well, no, we're not. There's still a little bit of a tunnel here. Now we see, once we get to this Coca-Cola building here, we actually have pit stalls. And a narrow pit road it is.
Well, we are in past
yeah, look
pit
at how-
stalls. They're just not being used.
Yes. For these guys. Sorry, that
These
is.
guys, yeah, they got to go all the way to the front, a long drive. for these three drivers. As you see, Rogers and Carlson, top 2 spots, getting into their pit stop. See how they all get in clean, it looks like.
I'm going to go right now on my screen. I've got Johnny Eckert. I'm going to see where he comes out in comparison to these guys
tires!
you got in here on the top of the multicam. Ooh,
Fuel only.
There's the call.
And look at
Cameron lost
Indel
his
Cotto
spot.
gets out ahead. Cameron Rich, and I think that was kind of something you were talking about. That was the strategy that was kind of low key talked about between some of these teams, some of the drivers taking no tires, and that definitely put a guy like Johnny Eckert in a box. Who's now kind of right now, I think he's gonna sit.
He's getting out behind
back.
Chad Bear. Yeah, way back. Now, I do think Johnny Eckert took tires because he did get his times back down into the low 230s, but that's a gap. That is a big gap to overcome. And as far as how they came off pit road, by the way, sorry, my mind's jumping from place to place right now. Cameron Rich was the big loser in that cycle there. He lost second place and a good bit of ground to our leader.
And I gotta wonder if that has a little bit to do with that first pit stall as well, not quite being able to get that momentum built up on the exit of pit road.
Perhaps.
And as you see Indel Cotto get around him, man, you see the pretty big gap.
Oh,
as Indel Cotto and Rich were bumper to bumper.
Ian, pit road penalty.
Oh,
what was the penalty?
He crossed the white line. He is crossed the white line on pit exit, and iRacing had given him a penalty for it.
Did he ask
I
for
know
it to
that
be
can
clear?
be tricky.
Yes.
Oh, unfortunately, that's not a clearable offense.
Not a clearable offense for Kian, and that's going to be a huge penalty for just how long this mile-long pit road.
Oh man, that's a killer. That's not. I mean, we're not talking about an oval where it's like, you might lose a lap and lose. No, you're done.
Yeah, he is going to be done. A masterful drive.
somebody
Oh,
blew
my
an
hand
engine.
getting crossed up. Not sure who blew the motor there.
There's just too many cars everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot going on the racetrack. It looks like Rogers and Leininger coming down pit road. Staying on the racetrack right now is Carlson, and he's got to be getting close to that fuel window.
There goes Kian
There
making
we
that
go.
turn on the pit road. That's a crusher for him. He got out there to that lead and led all the laps, and now it is going to be a lonely, sad stroll at 37 miles an hour all the way down pit road.
He's not going to lose
it's
that
gonna be
much
brutal.
time. Actually, no, it's a mile long pit road.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty rough. I think I think I bring up this comparison anytime we do see pit road penalties, but I remember Jeff Gordon always said he always got kind of a rough time for driving through slow on pit road, and he always kind of had the mindset, for the little that you gain, you can lose so much, and it's always tricky to get that fine line, and I'm sure Kian was just trying to do his best to build up as big of a lead he can over Indel Cotto, and it just cost him. It didn't look like he broke the rule or crossed that line by very much.
I was looking at it. Is it that like left-hand kink there? Because it looks to me like Indel Cotto and Rich kept their right sides over it, and it looked like Kian maybe bit off a little bit more than what iRacing will allow. I'm watching him now. I'm curious to see if he does it again. That would be that would be something.
That'd be something, and talk about it being in the lead currently right now. He fell all the way back into the 15th position.
Oh,
so as you said, a killer. Yeah, he's gonna lose a couple
all the way
more
up to
spots.
9th. It's just Dallas Myhand and 18th right here.
Well, he's gonna be 16th currently on the scorecard.
Yep.
And Kian's able to hold him off for the meantime, trying to work his way back up through the field, see if he can get back into the top 10. But all things considered, the way Indel Cotto got ahead of Cameron Rich, that could have been the race-winning strategy right there.
It could have. I was seeing Cameron Rich start to struggle a little bit. He was really good for a long time, but everybody's tires, they manage them differently. They fall off at different times. Maybe Cameron Rich's are going off another level here because he was really, really putting the pressure on and making up ground early. Maybe the making up ground was him using those tires, and Indel Cotto and Rally didn't have to use up the tires as much.
Leader
That's
pit
what I'm
road.
thinking it has to be.
And Carlson does come down pit road. We'll see what his strategy is going to be. Is he going to try to just top off, maybe just a little splash of gas? He doesn't need to fill that tank up. See what that strategy is down this long and winding pit road.
I think all tracks should have this siren. when dictating when people go down pit road. But maybe to save
nice
a little
little-
caution.
Yeah, that's actually wouldn't be
The last
too
thing you want
bad.
is like 2 minutes worth of sirens going on because everybody goes down pit road at the same time.
Yeah. A little bit different, and now Indocano officially your leader now. He passes Carlson down Carlson's down pit road, and see if that bumps him. Kean currently still sitting in that 15th spot, but right now, you know, some of it might have been, but a little bit of luck for Kean getting penalized. But Cameron Rich, where he's been usually at so far this season, up front, holding on to a pretty wheel in the lead.
Yeah, and Kean, at this point of the season, you know, still early in the season, but Kean's a guy that won races last season. He was expecting to come out here and take the fight to these guys right at the top, and he's doing all right in points still. He's had some good finishes, but he's hungry for a win, and every week he doesn't get a win. I'm not going to say frustrating, but it gets more and more urgent. It's something that he was able to do several times last season, and the longer it seems to take this season, the more it's going to eat at you. And, you know, in this case today, it's going to take him just one more half. Because, you know, I mean, it's pretty obvious to everybody now. If he's going to want to win, it'll have to wait until next half.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of the tricky situation. And he's going to have to work through, you know, as of right now, 13 cars. Is only the top 4 will invert for this half.
And that's the thing. It's not like there's nothing to race for here, too. He's got to pass as many cars as he possibly can. Oh, my hand's spinning in front of traffic. I think he'll be okay.
Backing up, getting out on the racetrack.
Yeah. But for Kean, the mission is still on. He's got to pass as many of these guys as he can right now, so there's less cars to pass next half. Because if it has the same effect on him as it's had on Cameron Rich, Cameron falling back significantly, the chance to win, it gets harder with every car he doesn't pass right now.
You know, and that's going to be very tough for Kean indeed. But one thing, you know, with these two guys here, and Chad Bear and Johnny Eckert, you know, they're not out here for points. We talked about that. And right now, the win is definitely unlikely. So I got to wonder, is Johnny backing off to try to stay in that 4th spot so he starts on the pole in half number 2?
Is it top 4 or top 6?
It's top 4.
Top 4.
It's top 4. Okay. Then this is an important battle. This is a very important battle. Because I think, well, you saw Johnny jump up there and grab the lead and hold it for a little bit before he got that cut penalty and had to lose the time, right? So, I mean, if he can get by Chad Bear, things could look a little bit different this next half.
Well,
Track position
isn't there a penalty
is quite
if you
important.
try to hold on to that last spot on purpose?
I think so, but either way, he's going to have to pass Chad Bear, isn't he? Or no, wait a second.
After the race, Johnny Eckert. Oh,
yeah,
excuse me. Zac Rogers. Zac Rogers. Really now? Yep, 2 minutes, 29:59. He is 5th.
Oh, wow.
We haven't really talked much about Zac Rogers, have we?
No, not a whole lot. And, you know, I believe earlier this week, I believe yesterday, in fact, in another league, running 2nd place at Monza. So definitely is a guy who can get around the road course. And I got to just shout out to that paint scheme as well, the old Robbie Gordon Bush scheme. And that scheme has some memories to it. I believe it was that Montreal.
Wait, the Montreal race where he got DQ'd?
Yeah.
It's the exact paint scheme from Enjoy.
Oh, man.
Enjoy.
I was like, that looks a little familiar. I don't know why.
Now you don't want flashbacks.
No.
Oh,
Caden Tufts again.
And he's going to fall out of the top 15 after that move. I think he's right around the top 10 before he went off track. So definitely has a little bit of speed, but getting off course a couple times, he's got some work to do in half number 2 to work his way back up to that kind of top 10, top 15. And speaking of top 10s, Kean Rally has worked his way up into that 10th position.
I was watching the battle. It almost got hairy. He and Vince about turned each other twice.
Oh, boy. That was a battle for the 10th position. Kean, I'm sure he's driving maybe not as carefully or maybe not as smoothly as he was when he's in the lead, because you may be seeing red a little bit after that penalty.
Oh, absolutely not. He's a man on a mission right now. He's trying to pass every car he can. He's got Cooper Johnson ahead of him.
And how
Seth
about that?
Rawls, not too much. What?
Cooper Johnson, 9th. I'm sure he will definitely take that, especially the way he was talking after that victory lane speech last week.
Oh, absolutely. The more good finishes you can string in a row, the better it feels. Every good finish in a row, every one's going to feel better than the last.
And I don't want to jinx it at all. But how about Seth Rawls running that A spot? And we are on the final lap here. Seth Rawls, so he's only got one more lap, and he's got all 4 wheels on the ground and looking for a solid finish here in 8th.
I mean, he could still take off.
Yeah, I hope I didn't announce or jinx him there.
I hope you didn't too. Poor guy doesn't really know what it's like to finish a race on all 4s.
Yeah, it's been a rare thing for Rawls this season having a good run. As we're looking on the bottom of your screen, that battle for 4 still heating up. Looks like Eckert's kind of getting a late charge here. See him going to the next corner if he's going to be able to outbrake him.
Yeah, you have to think it's an interesting thing. You want to finish as high as you can, but whoever loses the battle for 3rd here will start on the pole the next half. So it'll certainly have implications to how the next race goes.
So you're kind of playing maybe a little bit with house money for Johnny. I'm sure you want to get every position you can get. These guys not running for points, but they got to be careful because they could spin out, and Rogers is only 5 seconds back from this battle, and that could definitely put them in a spot they don't want to be, either be in the front row or starting in row number 3.
And all that matters. And you know what? Even then, as we saw, starting place still isn't everything. Cameron Rich went out, won the pole outright, and was back to 5th before we even made it through the first few corners, just because he didn't get off the line very well. That's another big thing we're going to have to watch for, because we know how the race might go based on how they start, and within seconds it could be completely backwards.
Yeah, it could be completely backwards indeed, but for one guy, it's not backwards. It's the number 4 car of Nick Indelcato. He went in here, he thought he had some competition, and he did, but so far he has put on a dominant performance with strategy, pace. He's done it all here tonight so far in half number 1. Oh, cool shot. And I don't even know how many corners he has left. I believe he's going into the final chicane now. As he works his way through the chicane, Nick Indelcato wins half number 1 once again.
Cameron Ridge coming not too far behind 2nd place.
And again, it's look at the guys behind Nick Indelcato: Cameron Rich, Chad Baer, Johnny Eckert, Zac Rogers, all guys who are
full beans there.
OSCA.
Eckert was giving the element.
Oh, man, he's still giving the beans. So basically, Kenton Jones is the next full-time driver in the standings, and he's all the way back in not all the way back, in the 600th position.
Here he comes here, eating up a lot of curve.
Is that what I was doing?
But still getting a solid finish there for Kenton Jones.
Kyle Carlson.
Carlson, yeah, with the 7th place. Kian works his way back up into the 8th position, holding off Seth Rawls and Cooper Johnson, who round out your top 10.
All right. Go ahead.
Points-wise, though, Nick Indelcato, he maximized a lot by having those 4 drivers between him and next full-time competitor, Kenton Jones.
Oh, big time, absolutely. And it's a huge blow for Kian, because it was yet another race where Kian was, looking like, if not win, absolutely was going to finish in that top 2 or 3. And just all it takes is that little penalty, and he got it back to 8th place. But those are crucial points. When you're chasing the points leader, those 5 points that's monumental. You're not trying to get it to the top 10. You're going for the points lead. So we'll have to pick up the pieces and try and get it back going here in half 2.
As we still see some guys finishing up the race, there is Robert Hill Jr. looking to come home in that 24 spot. Just shows you how long this track is. Again, average times right around 2:32 between fastest lap and Scott Nicky going off course.
Oh no, and Brent Jones is spinning.
Oh no, and Peeler come home in the 26th spot. Conrad 27th, Scott Nicky 28th. Capuano,
what?
I think we'll get by Brent for the 29th position, and Brent Jones, after that spin, He was battling Peeler for 26th. He'll come home 23rd.
NASCAR,
last
here we
car
go.
to finish, Alex Kenton bringing home in 31st. So now the official standings are in, and a little bit of different a backwards burnout.
Yeah,
Not
that
a
was
Polish,
something
best
else.
backward
yeah,
driver.
not a Polish. Yeah, it's not his Polish victory lap. It was something a little different. We will have to ask him what it was here. And as we got him in the booth, half number 1 winner, awesome performance from Nick Indelcato. And first of all, I think everything went just about perfectly for you, Nick. And what do you call that burnout that you did there at the end?
Yeah, I don't really know. It takes about 2.5 minutes to get back to the front straightaway, so I wasn't gonna take that time up. Yeah, overall, great race. I mean, obviously there was mistakes up front, but we stayed somewhat mistake free there, and that's what got us in victory lane.
Yeah, and it was a smooth driving for sure. And guys like Kean Rally did have that penalty. You see some guys taking tires. Was there much tire fall off? Is that kind of why you decided to, or maybe there wasn't a lot of tire fall off, and that's why you guys just decided to take fuel only?
Yeah, actually, with the way the fuel was, we barely got half a tank in. I think we're running like a 70% tank in OSCA, so we got half a tank in. Me and Kean actually took rights. I don't think Rich took any, and that's why he was falling back there. Under that pit road penalty by Kean, it sucks. It would have been cool to have a teammate 1-2. I definitely would have had a shot at him there at the end, but like I said, mistake free. Obviously, there were some corners that I wish I could have back that I lost some time on, but really no major mistakes and just ran it clean there.
Yeah, it was a clean, masterful performance indeed. But now, it's only a top 4 invert, but you are going to have some heavy hitters in front of you, like Johnny Eckert, Chad Bear, and Cameron Rich ahead of you. What's kind of your strategy here? Is it maybe even all just about that standing start?
We started from 5th there in the last race, and we're going to be starting from 4th in this one. So the standing start worked really good for me there. I feel bad I made that 3-wide move on Rich, but had to be aggressive, try to get up front, stay up front, and that's what we did. So this second race is going to be, probably harder. Rich, I definitely think, was a tad bit faster, and me and Kean were just about even. So it's going to be a great race, and I think the last one could have turned out great, but I think everybody here is going to, lessen their mistakes, and it's going to get really good.
Yeah, it should be a good one indeed. And before we let you get ready for half number 2, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, you see it on the car every week. Sam Drace, great friend of mine. He does motorsports photography. Go check him out. Twitter, Instagram. You'll have great pictures on your feed all year long. Check him out. Also, Shift Esports. We have a ton of our cars in here tonight. So go check us out on Twitter, Instagram. Go follow us. And also SR Design. Seth Rawls, who races with us on a weekly basis, makes these amazing paint schemes that we run every week. So go follow him. If you need an iRacing paint scheme or whatever it may be, go message him, DM him, and he'll get one made up for you. So that's about it. Thank you guys for the broadcast, and I'll see you hopefully after the second race.
All right, yeah, we'll hope to see you up here. Continuing the dominating performance is Nick Indelcato. We'll get him back down to his he already went there. His team chat as he'll get ready to try to pull off another sweep here early on in the OSCA 2022 B Sportsman Series season. And man, oh man, I think this could be a fun one, because I think you have a lot of guys who, as Nick was kind of saying, that they made a little bit of mistakes, especially guys like Kean Rally, who had that pit road penalty. I think we're going to see a lot of maybe attempted redemption here in half number 2.
And I don't have to say it for the millionth time, but redemption is such a fun thing about this league with the 2 halves. Don't get it right in the first half, you get to go do it again, and it'll look a little bit different up front this time now. We get John Eckert and Chad Bear and Cameron Rich being your starting top 3.
We got race picks.
We do have race picks. We do have race picks.
All right. And are we doing it by finishing order last?
It's whoever finished last this first half.
And I believe that was me, right?
All right, you pick first.
All right, I'll pick first here. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to pull for the guy who's, just dominating the season so far here. I think it's gonna be a taller tale here, but I have to go with Nick Indelcato. pulling off a sweep here in half number 2. I think he's going to get the dub.
Who finished second?
I believe I had it with picking Johnny Eckert. If I'm going to pick my race winner this time, I'm going to go with Cameron Rich.
No!
I feel like...
Ooh.
Yep. Hey, I'm never going to get to pick Cameron Rich, so hey, it's my turn.
Who did you pick, Kitty?
Indocado.
Go ahead, Carlos.
I'll go with Kean Riley. I think he can make it up. I'm so mad at you.
I'm still mad at you. But, you know, here's a guy who hasn't been picked, the guy who's going to be starting on the pole here, Johnny Eckert. And we've seen him do this before, you know, kind of struggle in one half and dominate the other. We'll see if he can get it done. Maybe playing a little bit of, you know, possum here a little bit in half number 1, or, you know, maybe shaking that rust off being a retired man. It looks like we're ready to go green here in just a moment. Check out that standing start. You see the lights there. No pace car controlling this. Dun 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 dun.
I think we got to kill 4 minutes.
Oh, we got 4 minutes.
You do not have 4 minutes. You had only 2, so it should be starting here in seconds.
Not 10 seconds.
All right, here we go. Now it's countdown. Hearts beating. Guys revving it up. Clutch brake on. See if who gets the best launch on this start. This is a good angle of it, but he can't see the lights. Oh, you see Johnny revving it up. And
Green
we are
flag.
green.
Cameron Rich slow on the start again.
Yep, holding up Rogers just a little bit. Johnny Eckert with another great start. Bear with a decent start will follow right behind
we got
Johnny
contact.
Eckert. Oh boy.
A little bit in the mid-pack. Everybody's keeping it clean so far.
Whoa, why?
Caution.
There's a track blockage back there. Some people can get through on the start.
It looked like Peeler definitely did not get going, or something happened there to the 13 machine. Coming into the race, he was second in points. To see if we can get a look at the replay.
Very back of the field.
So someone said they might have forgot to use the clutch. Oh man, definitely. Some guys not getting the best starts.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
What happened to David?
I wonder if he missed a shift, or maybe accidentally downshifted. What
we got
happened
a bunch
to
of time
Peeler
to kill.
as well? Yeah, we do have a bunch of Peeler here on the start.
Here's the track blockage.
The 81, wow, of Jack Ely.
Jack Ely.
And a lot of damage, so just not getting the start down.
No, it was up ahead.
Oh, up ahead of him.
There's more.
Wow. Ty McIntosh gets hammered hard by Ely.
Did Ely hit? I didn't quite see it. Did one not get going, or what happened?
I wonder if we might have to check a McIntosh out on the restart. See some heavy damage to the rear end of his car.
McIntosh didn't go.
Oh, McIntosh didn't go at all.
What happened there?
Oh man, it's just like you see in Formula One.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I'm wondering if he didn't have it in gear when he got going. And you see a lot of guys getting by last second. Ely nowhere to go.
He couldn't. But I didn't think he couldn't see anything.
Oh no, and really a masterful job. We'll take a look at Ely's onboard camera. Masterful job by a lot of these guys. Oh, last second. I mean, you really have time to react.
Car
next to you. He went through the grass. He might be okay. That could have been a lot worse.
I'm on. Oh, Brent Jones says me fine in the driver's chat. Somebody's watching.
Did he netcode through that?
No, I think he did make contact. But it could have been a lot worse.
Who's on pit road? Nick and Delicado's on pit road.
Yeah, cautions out. I'm assuming they want to go down pit road, get that last little bit of fuel to possibly go the rest of the way.
I don't know if that's enough to make it all the way.
Well, how many laps are we going to get under yellow? So if you have to come down the pit road the first time to come back down, maybe with one to go. So this could be a strategy. So Oh, but we're gonna have a pit strategy here
engine
in half
is
number
off.
2, aren't we?
We have an extra lap to go here. That's the thing. We had 14 last time, 15 this time. You gotta save like 4 laps
they
of
can
fuel.
go 11 to 13 laps on fuel. There's 14 laps in this half.
Oh,
And
boy.
I will. There are 15 laps, are there not? I think there's 15.
There's 15 in this half. I think you could do it if you went down pit road, but I think they went down too early.
13 is 13's generous. 13 is generous. I will say, just what my source is, doing the math myself. I was watching Seth lap.
We got somebody in the infield care center.
We do have Ty McIntosh. We'll maybe get him up here.
You got time.
Yeah, we got Ty McIntosh up here in the booth, and man, kind of a rough start there. I know the standing starts is always just something different, something unique here at Spa. What kind of happened on that initial start?
Well, a brain fart, to be honest with you. We turned the car off the first half, so my plan there was to turn it off and try to save fuel and not let it blow up, because I figured we were doing the same thing. And then I didn't really have a warning. I just saw the lights pop up, and I clicked ignition, and I was holding ass, and the car just would not start. So unfortunately, I don't know who killed me. I'm not dead. Somehow everything else is fine. That hit actually started moving the car, which works. Not the way I wanted it to happen, obviously. Just a brain fart that I know ruined a couple people's days. So kind of feel really bad about it, and just kind of adds to my terrible season. This one being on me, though.
Yeah, and fortunately though, for that wreck, it definitely could have been worse. A bigger pileup. Unfortunately, guys involved probably won't agree with that statement. No. But I mean, besides turning the ignition off, how hard is it to launch that car on these standing starts?
That's the thing, and it's downhill. So I know a couple people actually had rolling car like the start penalty, and it's also hard because when you have all of us packed up, you can't see anything, which is kind of the problem with me not being able to move. Nobody saw me. I mean, the first couple rows did, but then you get to a point and nobody sees it, and everybody's spinning tires, and it's just chaotic. The first start was definitely interesting because we were all feeling it out, and everybody was around trying to get space. That one I was kind of expecting everybody to feel a little bit better. Obviously, I did not. So.
Yeah, it's definitely wild. I've actually had similar stuff happen on like the highway, like a truck drops something and a couple of cars ahead to get by, and all of a sudden, oh boy, you got to make some evasive maneuvers. And yeah, we were even watching the onboard of the car that got in the back of you, and it was a case of kind of surprised as many cars got through it, but unfortunately for that particular driver, he had no time to react. And but hopefully, if there's any saving grace, do you think you're going to be able to have some speed with that hard hit you got from the back?
I don't know, man. I'm lucky I got 13th out of that race with just pure strategy. I do not feel comfortable here. Road course racing is still something I'm learning, and luckily I have pretty good teammates with Keen and everybody to show me what I'm doing. I think I just necked and scared the crap out of Capuano. But yeah, just try. I'm gonna try. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't kill anybody else.
Well, we'll let you get back out there. Hopefully you can salvage something here in half number 2 and keep the rest of those fenders on them.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna try.
All right, sounds good. We'll send you back down to the team chat, and yeah, it's definitely something that can happen, Matt. That you're so used to turning that car off. Same thing he did. I'm sure these guys are trying to save every little bit of fuel, especially now we might be in a fuel mileage strategy race here.
Oh, absolutely. If you take a look at pit road, there's about 8 or 9 guys sitting on pit road right now. Cooper Johnson, Damien Leininger, all coming down, topping off. Vincent Isabella, Nick and Delicato, back down, Gilberto. I think at this point they've got to go 12 green flag laps, 13 if you include this pace lap. They will be saving some fuel. The way the math figured out for me earlier, it was at a regular lap, like 11.3 laps a full tank will get you here. So they will have to save some fuel. It's just who can do it the best. And they're starting all the way back there too. So those guys that are on track at the front right now, Eckert and Bear and Rich, who will certainly have to pit, they're going to be pushing the entire time. So you have to wonder, are those two strategies going to collide at some point?
Yeah, and you got to wonder, like kind of, I think you're alluding to here, in Delgado, he's going to be mired back in traffic. He's got to potentially save a little bit yet, and can maybe make it where, and that could put guys like Eckert, Bear, they could set sail to a big enough lead where they don't have to worry about it. They might come out of pit road still ahead of the 4 car. It's definitely going to be an interesting race here in half number 2.
And one more thing with Delicado. That was actually twice he came down pit road. He came up the first time to top off. I don't know if he expected there to be an extra pace left, but he forfeited from track position, and now he's behind a good handful of cars on the same strategy. So it's actually a good bit of work to do there for the 4 car.
We'll see how he plays it out. See if he thinks he has enough gas. We'll have 12 laps to go once we go green. So this caution lap does help. Even helps guys like Johnny Eckert, Chad Bear, Cameron Rich, Kynan Jones. See if they can, probably still not make it, but see if they can take a little less fuel once they do come down pit road. I think I'm hearing McIntosh's car won't start again. Having some
it's Tim Conrad.
It's Tim Conrad. Okay.
It's another orange car.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I more or less just heard it, and I heard again. So we had those issues. So other cars having issues with starting up.
Yeah, well, Conrad is, sure enough, rolling around the track at about 37 miles an hour right now, only increasing his speed due to the downhill slope of the track. Hey, he's got it going now. He's got life.
Vic, you wanted an F1 track in here, and you got a very rare F1 start mishap.
Are you about to ask me a question?
No. Now, I realized as I was finishing my statement that it kind of felt like I said I was going to go somewhere else, but I wasn't. I'm just that bad.
Wow.
Wow. A little down on yourself. Don't be down. I mean, it's a good point that, as you said, that it was a F1 style restart.
It wasn't my choice.
Well,
it wasn't
now
my choice. This was voted on. Okay.
Hey,
now we get to see a rolling start. Now we get to see a rolling start and watch them go down into this hairpin.
And we'll see how it goes. Pace car is on pit road. And Rollins down pit road. That might be, see if he can make it. Oh, some cars overshooting the corner as Johnny Eckert takes lead. See Kian Rally making a grab. Contact. Oh. Boy, everyone stays going so far. Looks like maybe a little damage to the 11 now on that back spoiler. He moves up into the 4th position. So he felt he had to be aggressive to gain those spots. Maybe there isn't damage there on that.
There's a little bit. It looked like he was on the bottom of 3 wide, and Cameron Rich chopped off the nose of Kynan Jones.
I think Scott Nicky around as well.
Carlson spinning. Carlson. He's okay.
Man.
Doesn't look like he hit anything.
Definitely lose a lot of track position for the number 18 with a solid
hairy
run.
situation here. He's got fast traffic passing him as he gets back going.
Oh boy. Gets out right in front of traffic. Kian Rally now in that 4th spot right behind Cameron Rich, trying to get back up into contention for potentially a win here. His first win of the 2022 B season, but right now the all-time wins leader, all-time championship leader, Johnny Eckert, the retired guy coming out of retirement. I wonder if he's got a mustache like Terry Labonte now.
That's an interesting, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll ask after the race if Johnny can send us a picture of himself.
Yeah, show us either do. Oh, Cooper almost going around, saves it. We've seen that 91 on screen. He was completely sideways. Oh, and he's loose again. So
Cameron Rich and Cooper Johnson are both dancing around there.
Yeah, and there you see. Is that Damien without it? Or that's Westergreen without a front end. Oh, round goes Bear. Cameron Rich sideways.
We're both saving it.
Cam's got
Bear's going to lose spots. Yeah, there's damage to that number 4715 on the scorecard. He's filling in for Brian Osborne in that 6415 racing machine. And Kian Rally now right on the back bumper. 2 cars that got pretty aggressive damage here early on. And that bodes just well for Johnny Eckert. Yeah, you wonder if he might repay the favor if he ever catches back up to the bumper of Cameron Rich. We'll take a look at the replay and see what happened. shot in the corner, trying to cross over. Ooh. Just kind of a bad angle, I think, going into that second part of the S's there for Cameron Rich, and that's what kind of led to the contact.
I'm gonna make my comment when the field comes around to their positions update. I'm seeing some really interesting positioning of drivers right now. We've got troubles in the hairpin. We got cars around and cars spread out.
Oh no,
it's getting around.
Kenton in the 14 going around.
Oh, Cherry! The big Cherry barely missing him.
Wow, wait, an evasive maneuver. But how about Monticelli there, currently running in the top 10? Kean Raleigh and Cameron Rich still battling out.
Cameron Rich got a black flag for cutting the slowdown. Yeah.
Uh-oh, that will bring him right back with Chad Barry right now and saying, see ya. He didn't need to pay him back. I think he felt like he got maybe some racing karma justice there.
Ball don't lie.
Yeah.
And just like that, Johnny Eckert finding himself out in the race lead. And Kean Raleigh, the man who looked like he was going to pick up a win, in second, to hunt him down.
Yeah, it's been an interesting race so far indeed. And trying to look to see where Indelcado was to keep a kind of a point on him. I'm not even seeing him. Why am I not seeing? Oh, 33rd right now.
He went down pit road.
That's what I was... Did he go back down pit road? Because he is way off the field. Because you saw Seth duck down pit road.
John Lynch jumping the curve there as well. You got to wonder if they feel like, it seems like a lot of those Shift Esports teammates there went back down pit road. If they feel now, well, they are good to go to the end.
You said you saw Seth jump down pit road, didn't you? Didn't one of you?
Yeah, he
yes, I did.
Seth pitted along with a lot of others.
Well, yeah, but I only see the 4 and the 10 that far back. Is there anybody else that far? Yeah, Scott Nicky's that far back.
Scott Nicky, I think. Oh, Western Green going around. Stays off.
He's good.
And he's done. He's had
enough. He's had enough.
Out. He's on to North Wilkesboro. So he kept the car pretty clean in half number 1. Half number 2 did not bode so well for him.
No, David Westergreen's patience at a road course. I mean, there's not many combinations that produce less patience.
Yeah.
I think Monticelli had a spin.
Oh, Monticelli in the top. He was in the top, and he's surrendering that 10th spot to Dallas Myhan now after that loop around. Those S's might have been a little bit trouble for Monticelli here tonight.
And we're watching battles and we're watching racing around the track, but I'm really excited to see what happens at the end of it. I want to see if it's going to be Johnny Eckert and Kean Raleigh for the win at the end of the race, or if Indelcado's strategy pays off. I mean, I don't really know who's going to be in the battle for the win by the end of it at this point.
It's going to be interesting, especially with a lot of the action that's kind of gone around mid-pack here. I wonder if that's a good strategy for those Shift Esports guys, those bunch of guys that did go down pit road as the green flag went out, because now they're not in this mix. They're not in kind of the chaos that's going on mid-pack here. There's again a lot going on. They can kind of just cruise, set their laps. If they feel like they can make it, they can set pretty good laps and maybe make some of that time up.
Well,
and then once they catch the field, it'll be less of a group.
I was going to say, I'm wondering if Nick Indelcado feels as if he's hit his fuel number. He just ran a 2:29.68, pretty on par with what most of these leaders are running. Eckert just ran an 8:28. I don't know, that's still a little bit slower than Kean with a 2:27. That is a blistering fast lap.
Yeah, he is definitely digging and going for it right now. Kean Raleigh sitting in that second spot. He's closing that gap to Johnny Eckert.
Fastest lap of the race is 4 minutes and 15 seconds, even though his last lap was 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was kind of.
I'm looking at that right now. That doesn't look right.
I was gonna say that looks a little different.
Someone's got some X's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. As you see that onboard of Zach Evans, and you see just how much concentration. I hope we're not bugging him again here.
Well, last time we bugged him, it didn't really go over very well.
Yeah, currently sitting in that 13th position. And that Me car looking pretty pristine right now. And again, you know, having a rough half, number one. Again, the great thing here about OSCA competition is you have the two halves. You see, Isabella and Mahan battling up right ahead of him right before we get to the start and finish line here.
We might have a battle for the lead formulating. Kean took a look under Eckert in that hairpin there. Didn't quite get a run off the corner. He's got a little bit of a run here. They might be getting a little bit racy here.
Yeah, Kean gonna give Johnny everything he's got here in just a few moments. And this could be, for their strategy-wise, this could be a race-winning move for either one of those drivers. If Johnny can hold them off or if Kean can get by. Again, these guys have to come down pit road yet, but more than likely, guys like Indelcato, Seth Rawls able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. So yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. So even guys like Kean and Johnny here, you know, they're battling for the lead, yes, but they also got to be battling just to set the best laps to make sure that when they come down pit road, they can come out still ahead of that 4-car.
And that makes it all the more pressurized. You got to race each other, but they've got to race the track too. They're basically, I mean, tire management is important, but those guys that came and topped off on fuel that no longer have to bid, it kind of forces the hands of our leaders here. They don't really have much of a choice but to really hot lap every lap they can. They've got to make up ground so they don't get jumped.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and especially too the mindset between these two drivers. If you're Kean, you don't want to maybe, if you're going to pass them, you're going to want to make it quick. And even if you're Johnny, if you do get passed, you might want to make it quick as well so you don't lose as much time.
You know what I'm going to go look at right now, and this will take me a minute. It's going to take a bit of a commitment on my part. I am going to go to the last race. I'm going to see how long it takes them to go down pit road and get fuel.
Ooh. That should be interesting. Yeah, that would be a little bit of commitment.
A minute and 18 seconds.
Oh, what the heck?
Wow.
Do you have some that times from commitment line to commitment line?
Yes. It's in here. Pit lane time. That's the overall time in pit lane.
You have that? That's extremely useful.
A minute and 18 seconds all the way up to a minute 24. I think the average is like 120, 122, 123.
Oh, the way it figures out right now, that would put Nick Indelcato in the lead. He's about a minute and 6 seconds back from the leader, so he'd have about a 10 to 15 second gap once it cycles out. Speaking of the lead.
Oh boy, come on! $5! Aww.
Oh.
The wise decision, I can assure you.
He backs off, and as the live scoring sits, you know, that's 1 minute 8 seconds. So roughly estimating, that's looking like about a 10-second lead for Indelcato. Once he's
showing the nose.
Pit road. Oh, he's looking.
He didn't take it.
Again, I think just trying not to lose as much time side by side. So again, just if he's going to make that move, he's got to make it quick. He's trying to set that pass up. And you see something we haven't seen in half number one. These guys kicking it sideways almost after every corner here. They're digging about as hard as they can.
Yeah, and you know the thing is they're equipped with a little bit more knowledge now than they were in that last half. That last half they might have been driving a little bit more carefully, not really sure what the tires are going to do. For the guys, and I'm assuring the majority of the field, the guys that didn't take tires, they know what's going to happen to these tires. They know what's going to happen if they push them more, push them less, how hard they can push them, and when they can push them. And speaking of pushing, Eckert goes a little bit wide there. Allows Kean to draw right up to his back bumper. This is going to be a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, and again, I think we talk about this about every road course too. When you're either one of these drivers, you know, if you're Eckert or if you're Rally, even just being this close, that kind of changes your kind of hot lap scenario, because you either have to brake a little bit early, maybe brake a little bit later than you normally do to try to stay ahead.
Here we go. That's it.
Kean's got the lead.
Eckert going off in the sand just a little bit. That opens the door for Kean Rally, who takes over that top spot.
And I'll tell you, it hurts Eckert, but that is precisely what Kean needed. He didn't have to back off, didn't have to lose time. Now that you've got the lead, he's got to set sail and run the best laps he possibly can, because right now he has got a lot of time to make up on Indelcato.
That might be a slowdown.
Oh, and it might be.
We're going to find out here.
Johnny is catching right back up. That was definitely close there, I do believe.
I do think he got the slowdown, but you can actually set it up so that you can serve most of the slowdown while you're slowing down
Right
for
here.
the next corner.
Right here, right? You can do a lot of it right here.
No, actually, in the last hairpin.
Yeah, in that chicane, in maybe the finishing off right here, and he was able to stay ahead of Johnny Eckert if he did get that penalty. See Ray Bracey coming down pit road. He was in the top 10. I think he was running about 10th spot.
Cameron Rich doesn't have a nose. I'm just now realizing this. He's third. Right? You see him back there?
Oh, yeah. When did he lose his nose?
I don't really know. Modifieds don't tend to do very well here, but he's still running third.
Running third and only 2 seconds behind the leader of Kean Rally. Or no, I'm sorry, that's he's a little over 2 seconds back from Johnny Eckert. About that's kind of changing here. My gaps are changing. Almost a little under 3 seconds behind Kean Rally right now.
Man, and I'm watching these guys at the front. I know we were talking about it a lap ago. Their tails hanging out. They are absolutely pushing way harder. I'm seeing them pick up a little bit of grass, get a little bit more out of the racetrack, using up every inch. I think the urgency is definitely being felt.
The urgency's felt, but even with how hard they're pushing, they're running just about 0.3 faster that last lap than Nick and Delgado, who's still maintaining right around that 1 minute 8, 1 minute 9 second gap behind these leaders again with that 1:18 pit road time. Not boding well for these leaders. There's still a lot of work to make up, and really before these guys have to come down pit road, there's not a lot of good.
Now, my next question, Damien Leininger and Cooper Johnson and Vincent Isabella, they did not come down pit road coming to the green. However, they came down pit road the lap prior. It's entirely possible that Indelicado and Rawls back there are non-factors. It's entirely possible that it's going to actually be Damien and Vincent who maybe have enough feel with their strategy, and these guys come out on top. It's something they failed to consider up to this point because they're mired in like 11th, 12th, or 8th, 10th, and whatever. It might still not go the way we think it will.
And definitely you can see they're pushing it, so either they're in one or two boats. They either totally cannot make it or they totally can. I don't think there's any gray area where their strategy is going to play out. And I think for us, we just got to sit back and see where those guys who did not come down pit road once the green flag came out and see where they're at. We see a car going around there. That might have been Capuano in the 21 car.
We're certainly approaching that time. Cameron Rich is on pit road, by the way. We're now on lap 10. It's about time for us to see how the strategy is going to play out. Very soon here, we're going to see guys come into pit road. They can only make it so much further on field. I'd have to imagine, if not this lap, absolutely the next lap for the leaders.
Yeah, and I think even Cameron Rich, who is right around 3 seconds back of Kean Rally, we'll see where he comes out comparatively to the 4 car of Indelicado, who is in that 16th position. You see on the left hand of your screen. You see Cameron Rich still in the top 10, but I'm sure he's probably not even to his pit box yet.
I wouldn't think so.
And I believe Brent Jones was one of the cars that did come down pit road under that caution, and he's on pit road as well. So I don't know if that has anything to say about the guys who did not go to pit road once the green flag came out.
Watching lap times here. I don't know. Hey, I'm watching lap times. Nick Indelicado's had to race in a little bit of traffic. Kean has not. As a matter of fact, Indelicado just got the bump from Caden Tufts. He's now at minute 10 back. So Kean is gaining. It's just, does he have enough laps to gain enough time?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if he can gap that to get out ahead. Cameron Rich is back out on the racetrack, and interestingly enough, back in the 13th spot, and he is 16 seconds lead scoring. I think that gap is changing a little quick. Oh, Capuano around again.
Cameron Rich had a 1 minute 15 pit lane time.
Pit lane time, and able to stay ahead of Nick Indelicado, and I believe right now right around that 15-second mark. So I'm assuming that's no tires and just enough gas to finish.
I'm assuming he took right sides because he had 7 seconds of pit stop time.
7 seconds. That's definitely a possibility. He takes 2 tires, a mistake that he potentially made of Indelicado kind of maybe assumed. So I guess I am as well. that he didn't do in half number one. And they actually pulling away from Indocado a little bit. Indocado right now, falling back about 16, 17 seconds back. So maybe that pitting when the green flag came up might not pay off here.
Ty McIntosh's Wi-Fi dropped.
Oh
boy, man, what bad that gets worse for Ty. I mean, I don't mean to laugh there. It's just been a frustrating season for Ty. Hopefully things get turned around.
Eckert's going by rally. Pass for the lead.
The pass for the lead is complete. Johnny Eckert back up front.
But Kean with a big run off.
Wow, side-by-side drag race. And Chad Bear, where did he come from? He's going to move to the second spot. He's going to look for the lead.
Oh, it's a three-way fight now. I didn't think Chad would. It looked like Kean might have backed up, given Johnny, because Johnny definitely had the advantage going up Eau Rouge, but overrated on Kean.
Both got
a way better one. They got slowdowns.
Oh no, and that could hurt if they want to stay ahead of Indocado here. Now Chad Bear sitting in the catbird seat trying to gap Indocado, who's now, and that closed quite a bit.
Does anybody remember? I'm sorry. Does anybody remember? Was Cameron Rich in front of Chad Bear before the pit stop?
Yes.
Okay. Chad Bear is now the race leader. The pit stop is going to be very telling here very shortly.
Oh boy, there is so much in play here. Yeah, we kind of forgot about Rich, who is sitting in 8th, 46 seconds back. And I guess the longer these guys hold out as well, and I think tires maybe at this point for how late these guys are going to pit, that might be out the window. So it's probably just getting enough gas.
Fuel. It's gas and go all the way, absolutely.
Yeah, and with this long pit road, that's got to be a factor in their decisions as well. And this has been the best of both worlds here. We see hard racing battle for this lead, and you get fuel mileage strategy. I don't think you can ask for anything more.
Absolutely not. And I have to think they're coming to pit road this time. Now, if they were able to save a little bit of fuel, maybe they'll come next time, but what good would that do? At this point, I think you pit now, see what you've got, and you've got the last few laps to battle for whatever you've got to battle for. But the gap between... Oh, Rowley's got another slowdown.
Oh, man, so trying to push it as hard as he can. He's now 5 seconds back of Chad Bear in that 84.
They stay out another lap.
Everyone, staying out. 4 laps to go.
Oh, me fine, me no fine.
Oh, no. Oh, Monticelli, Evans. Around it sounded like maybe some contact there between the 6 and 27.
Are they saving fuel, or am I losing my mind here? I don't.
Who is? Oh,
are Kean and Eckert saving fuel? Kean's saving fuel. He's only going about 110 right now. I don't think he still has a slowdown. I think the number 11 is saving fuel. I think Eckert might be too.
I think he's leaving it in 4th gear.
Oh my goodness! What an interesting play we have going on here.
I don't know about this.
No, Eckert's saving fuel. Eckert's coasting halfway down the straight there. Eckert's saving fuel. Kean's saving fuel. Damien has more fuel than these guys, and Damien is in 4th.
Oh my goodness! So this how
Damien
the
also went down pit road.
Here.
Damien pit.
Yeah, Damien.
Oh, earlier. No,
that's what I'm saying.
No. That's what I'm saying. He has more fuel than them. Not as much as in Indocado, but in Indocado and those guys on that strategy, I think at this point they're non-factors. It hasn't worked out for them because those guys at the top of the field, they're going to try and save fuel. Damien doesn't have to save as much fuel. Cameron Rich, on the other hand, is going to be going all out.
Yeah, he has that luxury going all out, and I believe last lap, any of the leaders, he was about 3 seconds faster, and right now he's 23 seconds back. So he's kind of maybe in the catbird seat, unless somehow, with that 23-second gap, if Johnny, Chad, or Kean can save enough fuel to make it to the end here.
It's not going to work out for Kean, I don't think, because Damien is within a straightaway, or he can see Kean going into the corners now. Damien will pass Kean very shortly. This is bold. This is very bold by Johnny and Kean here to save that much fuel in this amount of laps. I don't know what to think of it. It's certainly a strategy I could have never predicted.
Yeah, we wrote this off that this couldn't happen, but a hand that we didn't think was going to be dealt here for the 90 car. Chad, on the other hand, looks like he's kind of just running what he can. He's pulled away
coming
to a
down
big
pit road right now. Chad has just came to pit road. He's going with making up time by just pushing. Johnny stays out. I don't think Johnny and Keen are going to pit. I think they're going to try and say. I don't know what Keen can do.
I don't think they can make it.
I don't think they can either. That's why I'm saying I couldn't have predicted this. They stay out still, and Damien's right behind them. Damien has less fuel to save. Damien will surely pass Keen this time. Yes, he's going to go right by.
And this is an interesting strategy. You know, for a guy like Johnny Eckert, who doesn't have a lot to lose here, just kind of running out here for fun. And we've seen him do some tricky things here in OSCA past to make it to the end and see if he can get it done. But a guy like Kian, this is a big gamble. How about Kynan Jones?
My goodness, has Kynan pit yet?
No.
Kynan saving fuel. Here comes Cameron Rich.
Cameron Rich working his way up to the top 5 after coming down pit road. And Isabella, I think he's in that similar situation to what Leininger, who's now in second.
Yes, Damien and Vincent are on the same strategy. Cameron has just blown by Chad Bear, so Cameron Rich is, if there's anybody that's going to be pushing to pass the guys that run out of field, keep your eyes on Cameron Rich if these guys up here in the top bunch start dropping like flies.
Once Leininger passed Riley has not been saving as much as before.
There's no way he has enough.
Or Damien has realized that he has to save fuel.
It could be that. It very well could be. Because there's a lot of ground between he and Johnny Eckert right now.
Man, Johnny Eckert now pulling away with over an 8-second lead. Seeing if he can stretch the fuel to make it to the end. And just a note, even Chad Bear coming out in 8th after he came down pit road, so he'll maintain a top 10 spot. Yeah, Carlos circling the tachometer there of how much he's just coasting.
Is he in the highway?
Yeah, he's cruising on the highway. He's got the cruise control on.
I wonder if he's got an arm out the window there as well.
I would have never, ever guessed we would have a fuel mileage race and a 15-lap race at Spa, but here we are.
Yeah, and how is it, like 4 miles around this track?
Damien, yes, I think so. Damien is closing. Closing. Down to 7 seconds now. Down below 7 seconds.
Man, he is closing in real quick, and he about 8 seconds faster a lap. So Damien, I think, kind of made his bet. He's going for it.
Question still sits in the back of my head. Does Damien have enough fuel? I would be shocked. That is a lot of fuel to save. I mean, the way 12 laps was generous on a tank. These guys are pushing 15. Now they topped off, and they did save fuel, especially Damien and Vincent.
They didn't top off,
but Damien and Vincent.
Oh,
they topped off the second. Yeah, they topped off this. I believe even the second caution lap, but the guys again that came back in when the green flag came out. Indicado, the best out of that bunch, in 11th right now. Again, kind of a non-factor, I think, here for the win when you have Chad Bear in 6th and Cameron Rich in 4th right now. And even for those guys, they're closing in at a high rate of speed as well. But they still got a long way to go to even catch Damien.
I think Johnny Eckert
at 2nd spot.
Has Johnny Eckert turned up the heat a little bit? Is he still? Does that say? It's blurry for me. Is that 4.5 seconds or 6.5?
4.5.
It's right around 4.5, and that last lap he ran 2 seconds quicker than he did the previous lap. I think he knows that he's got to turn it up. As Damien's still closing in. He's 4 seconds back.
I was going to say, I certainly see some more acceleration. He is still lifting considerably early going into the corners, but he's definitely getting off the corners a lot quicker. Damien is getting very close now, and I think it's going to be a matter of once Damien gets to the back of Johnny Eckert, it's just go time and pray he's got enough to make it all the way.
Yeah, with a lot of the hills and elevation here on this track, the downhill you can maybe save a little bit more fuel, but you also got to go back uphill They'll burn a little bit more. Johnny Eckert now under 3.5 second lead over Damien, and that gap is closing incredibly quick. So there's not a lot of wiggle room there for Johnny if he wants to hold on to this lead to get the victory here. And a question will remain. I mean, I think at this point, yeah, Damien has played that hand. He's running full power, full song. Cameron Rich 2 seconds faster even than Damien that last lap, but he's considerably, like 18 seconds back, I believe, of give or take from Damien, who's now under 3 seconds as we take the white flag lap.
Here we go.
See who can make it, who cannot make it. Johnny Eckert will take the white. Who'll get the win? Oh, pushing it is Damien. Getting sideways off the corner. And Johnny Eckert at 2:35. That was 3 seconds faster again from his previous lap.
He's still got a little bit of room to save if he wants. He can let Damien get a little bit close and save fuel. But the back end of that, if Damien's close enough to make a move. So it's a double-edged sword here. You know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Whether you save a little bit more, or maybe he's got enough to keep Damien.
Oh, Eckert's going for it now. He's full throttle.
Yeah, he is full throttle. That 3 second lead has maintained a little bit over 3 second lead.
That tells me that he either knows he's gonna make it or he knows he's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
So it tells me nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this plays out in this final lap. Still a long way to go for these drivers. Kian looks like he's starting to hit the loud pedal a little bit more as well. But saving a little bit. And he's got Cameron Rich. You see them right on the top of your screen there, 4 seconds back of him. But the real question is, who saved enough fuel? Did Johnny Eckert save enough? Can Damien catch him? And will they both make it across the checkered flag here?
Is Johnny still saving a little bit? He saw, you heard it there. He got off the gas a little bit earlier than he needed to. He's still saving a little bit. He might not quite be good yet, as the gap is now down to just 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, maybe a little less brave as, yeah, Damien's closing in, but is there enough time? Is there enough fuel in the tanks? About to find out. I believe about a half a lap to go. I'm trying to remember where this part of the track is. I think they're getting close toward the end.
Close. And we're about to get to our long straight here. We got a shallow right-hander here, and then it's a long straight down to that last chicane.
And maybe, and this is where it's going to be tricky to save fuel because you don't want to lose too much momentum down this straightaway. And that gap maintaining. He's going for it.
Still taking it easier. If he runs out at the wrong spot, Damien could get it. Damien's coming hard.
2
goes
seconds
really wide
back.
there.
But Johnny doesn't have much further to go. He's just got to go through these final chicane here. Coming back out of retirement, Johnny Eckert takes the win here in half number 2 if he has enough power, and he does.
He does.
Johnny Eckert saves enough fuel. Out of fuel line, like a magician. Does it again. Johnny Eckert, Damien Leininger, and here's a battle for the third spot. Kian saved enough fuel. He'll come home in 3rd. Cameron Rich in 4th.
Vincent Isabella grabbing a top 5 here.
A solid run for Vincent.
And you guys called me stupid. You're like, there's no way they can save in 15 laps.
Hey, they had some help.
I said it because of the help. I'm like, all those guys are going down Pier Road to possibly make it to the end, and you're like, oh no, they're not. They can't make it. They can only make it like 11 or so laps. So you'll probably make it 12, but not 15.
Well, Carlos.
When it's Johnny Eckert in question.
Yeah, that's true, and it also tells you why we're up here, not down there racing.
Caden Tufts brought home a top 10. Caden Tufts and Gilberto, 2 rookies bringing home top 10s here.
Nathaniel Cherry just outside the top 10 and coming home 11th. John Lynch, Seth Rawls, Ray Bracey, Adam Tepe rounds out the top 15 as we got the rest of the field finishing up. A lot of guys I think running out of fuel. So who would have thought?
Absolutely out of fuel.
And he's getting a push from Caden to victory lane once again. Johnny Eckert pulling off a victory, coming out of retirement.
Man, and
with
I was just we know how good he is pace-wise at road courses, but we've seen it's. Can I say miracle? Because like I just didn't think there was any way possible. Because look, he and Kian were on the same strategy. He finished 20 seconds ahead of Kian Relly. There's nobody I've seen that can make that kind of pace and save that kind of fuel, except for Johnny Eckert. And even after it's all said and done for his full-time career in OSCA, he's still adding to the record books.
Yeah, he's adding up those wins as he's coasting around the track. We do have third place finisher Kian Rally, and Kian, you showed pace all day, but kind of what held you in the podium spot here in half number 2 was saving the fuel. Man, we didn't think any of you guys could make it after not topping off there, or not stopping at all. How tricky was it to make it to the end?
Well, personally, I thought we could make it too. Until I would say with about 5 or 6 laps to go, I came down the pitch straight, and Knaus goes, "Go look at your fuel gauge." And I looked down, and I went from being 2.5 laps to the good to about a lap and a half short. So, I mean, I really thought, I guess I can't do basic math in my head, but I thought we were able to run full song to the end. Obviously, I wasn't holding back anything until I learned I had to save. But I tell you what, it does feel good to finally come out on the right side of one of these fuel mileage events. I think this might be the first time ever that I've benefited from not going down pit road. So.
Yeah, it was a masterful job. How much were you running? What percentage-wise would you say you were running those final laps?
It kind of felt like I was driving to the grocery store well before it was closing. I would honestly, 30%, not even that at some points. It was in 4th gear almost all the time around the racetrack. I didn't even think about touching 2nd gear until the last 2 laps of the race. So, spent a lot of time up in the higher gears, pretty much cruising around and then looking at the racetrack and I guess enjoying the scenery. But you know,
Johnny has fuel.
How does Johnny even have fuel?
He just did a burnout.
2 burnouts.
He had just enough. I was in there talking to him and Damien after the race, and Damien said he was optimistic he was going to catch him until Johnny downshifted in Eau Rouge and took off from him. That's a terrible way. So he did a great job at that. I think honestly. I'm a little sad because I thought I was running him down on sheer pace, and I was running really good laps, but I think he was saving fuel before I was. I just didn't get the memo. I really thought I had enough to get to the end and run full song, but I mean, a 3rd place finish isn't terrible. After the blunder I made in the first race where I drove right over the pit line like a real goofball, ended up falling back to 15th, drove up to 8th, and then I would say coming from 8th up to 3rd is no small task. So, well, I didn't win anything. I finally got to come in the press box, and I think if we keep this up, a win is going to come soon. A win has to come soon.
Yeah, and definitely you showed that muscle here tonight. An awesome fuel mileage to get that podium finish here in half number 2. But next week we go to North Wilkesboro, so we go just a different array of tracks that we've run so far here in the OSCA 2022 B season. What's kind of your outlook going into next week?
I just want to finish the race, honestly. Some of these guys, when it comes to close quarters combat, there's a few of them that I just don't think can be trusted. I think if I just keep my car in the front 10 or so cars, I think I'm going to be fine. So obviously I'll get off of here tonight and start thinking about next week. I'll log some laps, see what I can do. I've never run a race there. I bought the track when the hype train was up, and I just never ran a race there. I don't like it very much. But I'm going to do everything I can to just keep the car out of harm's way next week. That's all I can do. And I feel like if I keep the car clean, a good finish is remotely, I wouldn't say remotely. I think it's guaranteed for sure.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that. And before we let you go, any shout-outs you want to give?
All the Shifty Sports guys. I didn't really hang out in the voice chat tonight. There's a whole lot going on. Everybody was having a tough time at some point. Dynasty Stock Car Racing for coming on board for the entire season. The boss man, I guess in that sense, won the race, so good for him. I knew he was too much of a wimp to try to wreck his own car. Because he did pay for it. And this car looks great. It hasn't seen as much TV time as I would like. Seth painted a beautiful car. I think this thing looks spectacular. I'm sure the broadcast is great, as always. I shout you guys out. I'm going to go back and watch it because I like to watch the broadcast. You know, I think we've got a good thing going here. It was a really great race, a great couple of races this week. So I think everyone should give themselves a pat on the back and enjoy the downtime we've got before next week happens.
All right, we'll be looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the booth.
I hope so.
All right, you have a good night.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you.
You bet. As Kenton Rally coming home in third in half number 2 and 8th in half number 1. Next up, Matthew, you got Damien Leininger coming home in second.
Yes, we do. In the booth here is second place finisher tonight on the second step of the podium, Damien Leininger. And Damien, I don't think I've gotten to talk to you in the booth yet at this point. On lap 4, taking the green flag after that first caution, you were mired back in 24th after the pit call. When throughout that race did it become clear to you that you actually might have a shot at this win?
Yeah, I don't really know, honestly. Like, we made the pit call there, and we just, I wasn't even sure to do it. Hank Steinmiller, who was spotting for me, he made the call, and he's just like, "You're gonna do it here. It's gonna work out." And really just got through the commotion there, and I think we got up until like 10th or 11th, and we're the best car that had pitted. And I think Vince was like 2 or 3 seconds behind us, and then it got to 6 seconds, and then it got to like 8 seconds. You know, and then we kind of figured out that basically we figured everyone would have to pit in front of us. So then I went into my own fuel save mode, trying to just get me that little extra, because we were right on the number, 0.1 short or 0.1 to the good, just depending on the lap. So we went into fuel saving a little bit there, and then, you know, kind of with, I think 5 to go is when we kind of unleashed it a little bit. And I mean, we thought that everyone was going to have to pit, so we figured we were going to come out with like a 30-second gap. And then, you know, once I got into second and I saw where Eckert was and how far up and how he was, and the laps I was running compared to what he was running, became evident that he kind of had enough fuel at the end there. And then that last lap, just try to give it everything to try and push him that little extra bit. But, you know, it's a better finish than I probably expected.
Now, I have to wonder, the thing itching in the back of my head, because even up in the booth, we didn't really expect you to be a factor. We were looking at 2 other strategies, and it didn't become clear until later in the race when Cameron Rich pit and we saw you. We were like, Damien actually might have enough here to go to the end. Is there anything else you could have done? Because it was a really, really strong run to start 12th here and come back and get second, just 2.8 seconds back from the lead. Do you think you could have pushed earlier or pushed later, or is there anything that you could have done to grab one more spot here?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I was right on the number coming across the line. I think I was 0.1 to the good. Eckert, I think, was 0.2 to the good there. He had enough. Once Kian really pushed at the start of the run and had to like dramatically save a little bit. And then once Chad Bear started, you know, kind of pulling out his lead a little bit, he had to pit. It gave Eckert just enough room. I think he was like, 17 or 20 seconds, somewhere in that gap at the time, once I finally got into second behind him. And being able to save as good as he is and be as fast as he is on these road courses, you know, I don't think there's anything else I could have done. I mean, I played the strategy that we could play to get up there. I mean, I was probably going to be a 10th place car anyways. You know, I managed the tires the right way to where they weren't screaming at me. We had the number right on fuel. You know, we couldn't have pushed earlier, and pushing later wouldn't have helped anything because he would have just saved for more gas anyways.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I mean, I'm pretty much, I mean, I'm happy with second. I figured, you know, if I can get a couple top 10s here, you know, going out of Spa, then, you know, that'd be good. Put a couple races together, and you know, if I didn't wreck today, it must mean that Goody didn't pick me for his pick for either half there.
That's right.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, Damien, I mean, hey, second place, really good points there, coupled with 12th place overall, a good night. Now, we head to North Wilkes-Barre next week. When I think short track, you're one of the guys I think of. What do you think going into that one?
Can't wait. Really can't wait. You know, short tracks, like you mentioned, are kind of where my bread and butter lie. And, you know, I know there's going to be a lot of fast people here, but I expect, at least in my own eyes, I expect to be up there and battling for a win with the best that OSCA has to offer. Because I'd put myself, toe to toe with anybody on a short track.
Damien, thank you very much. Before we let you go here, you got anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs to give?
Yeah, just the Bat Flip podcast, the baseball podcast. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Follow social medias at Twitter, Instagram. They're both at Bat Flip Podcast. Vic for putting on this league, giving us a place to race. South Shore Racing, David, Adam. Every week we're here trying to get better and make gains there. Hank Steinmiller, we call him Luke for getting up on the box, and he made a good strategy call there and helped me get some more spots than I probably wouldn't have got with my own strategy call. And you, Carlos, Matthew, Goody, everybody that puts on the broadcast, that gives us something else to look back forward to. And a little extra special thank you to Goody for not picking me this week.
Yeah, for now.
This week. I mean.
Yeah, you got to pass this week.
Yeah, we'll see what next week brings.
Yeah, next week, the whole new week.
Hey, next week, next race is a short track. We just might pick you then. But for now, Damien, congratulations. Thanks for making it a show. Thanks for running here tonight. And we'll see you next week, my friend.
All right, thanks, guys.
My friend. That was Damien Leininger, pilot in the Bat Flip Podcast Chevrolet, home to second place.
And, no stranger now, we'll have the race winner of half number 2, Mr. Fuel Mileage expert himself. It's Johnny Eckert. Johnny, this whole time, ever since, I guess, that restart, after the caution came out early in the race, me and Matt did not give you a chance to make it the whole way on fuel. How the hell did you do it, man?
I used my my quote-unquote expertise from the second Watkins Glen race last season to my advantage, where it was one of those situations where you really didn't think you'd be able to make it, and then all of a sudden there it is. So no, I had an idea. With 5 to go, I was a lap and a half short or something, and then DJ was crew chiefing me, and he was just kind of giving me a couple extra suggestions from what he was seeing, what I was doing, and before you know it, like that, I got a 2-lap warning, like a third of the way through the lap with 2 to go. So, yeah, I don't really know how it all worked out, but it was kind of wild that myself and Kean was pushing me hard out of the gate, but after that he just kept he started ultra saving, it seemed like, and I just kind of kept my pace more consistent throughout the run, I think, and that helped me because I was saving from the get-go.
So, and how hard was that to try to kind of maintain, ahead of Kean, try to stay up towards the front and maintain fuel at the same time? I can't fathom it. Yeah, well,
I realized my fuel situation a couple laps after the restart. Kean was kind of pushing me a little bit, and I missed a corner trying to fuel save. And he got by, and I'm like, it didn't really matter to me at that point because I was just trying to make it to the finish, see what I could get out of it. And then a couple laps later, Kean just we were both nose to tail down Kemmel, clutching all the way down. And then Chad passed. I had passed Kean, and then Chad passed us down Kemmel. And from there, it was like a lap later, and Kean was like 10 seconds behind me, and that was kind of a green light to kind of do whatever I wanted to make sure that I got to the number. A couple laps, we were very well aware of where Damien was because he had pitted, and we figured that he was going to be good to go. We knew he was short a little bit, but we figured that he was going to be able to push by the time he got to second. So it was kind of just maintaining the gap to him because I knew what pace I needed to run in order to get myself across the line. So I saved enough for the last lap to give it a good go and had a decent last lap just to make sure that the gap stayed and that he wasn't close enough to do anything. And yeah, here we are.
So when did you officially run out? We thought you ran out right by the line, but we seen you do that little bit of a burnout there where you're sitting right now.
Yeah, I crossed the line, I think, with 0.1 gallons left.
Oh boy.
When I came around the turn 1 there, I stopped and I was 0.1. So Caden gave me a push. I used it to get where I am now, and then I waited until the session turned over and used that 0.1 to get a little bit of a burnout. So better than nothing, but I had just enough.
So how does it feel to come out of retirement, to come back here and pick up another win? And as Matthew said, just kind of keep adding on to that record lead that you have here in this series.
Yeah, I ran. There was a practice the other day here, and that the league put up, and I ran. My first lap out was pretty comfortable, and I was like, that was the deciding moment where it was like I wasn't gonna have to put a whole lot of effort into learning the track. Like I was already pretty well adjusted to the track, so that was kind of the decision. I'm like, you know what, let's go, let's see what happens. Vic thankfully put me in an invite car, and yeah, I'm surprised I'm here. I'm glad that I was able to race. It's been a weird week in practice. I don't know if Vic told you, but right in qualifying, I had to bail on my second lap because my neighbor fell, so I had to go over there to help pick him up. Yeah. So I almost missed the first race completely. I came back to grid with like a minute left, but yeah, it was. I didn't really expect to be racing this week. I had it in my mind, and I think Vic had talked about it. We had talked about it in the preseason race that there was a chance that you might get an invite if you wanted it, and obviously I'm here, so I'm happy to bring it home and add another win to the column. I don't know what the number is now, but yeah, I'm happy to win in Belgium. This isn't the track that I race that much, so glad to have one here.
Kind of mark it on, put another notch in that belt, another track to win at for sure. But Matthew, do you have that number?
What?
Do you have the number of Good morning. Good morning. Johnny Eckert's win total. I thought maybe you'd have that at the ready.
Hang on. OSCA all-time statistics. I've got it right here. Sort by wins. Johnny Eckert has won career victory number 22 tonight.
Woohoo!
And
how about that?
I believe that extends his lead over Tate Lytle. He now has 10 wins more than Tate. Tate has 12 wins at the number 2 spot.
Woohoo!
Oh, wow. Pull it away. So
a little bit.
So with that, there's a couple burning questions here that I have for you. First off, we'll start off with: are you expected to come out of retirement again at any point this season?
Maybe. I don't know.
Certain.
I have absolutely no plans to run anything, and that was the story at the end of last season. I had no plans to race anywhere. Even coming into this week, I'm not a fan of Spa. I don't really like the track that much.
Well,
it's a good F1 track. I know I showed everybody there. I'm not a big fan of the place, but like I said, it was a decision on I think Tuesday. Where I talked to Vic about it, so that was kind of the decision making. But I don't really have any plans. I mean, depending on the situation. I know there might be a couple sub opportunities with in-law, and we'll see exactly what happens. But I don't really intend on driving per se. I have other things that I feel like I can contribute with with Kian. Oh my gosh, I've been doing that all day today with Kynan and Jo. Yeah. With Kynan and Jo, but yeah, I feel like you might see me again, and maybe at a road course down the line. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not sure.
So with that then, that'll lead to my second question. I said you're almost like a Terry Labonte coming out of retirement. So since you retired, it's been a few months. Do you have a pretty badass mustache going on right now?
Oh no,
well, come on.
Not really, no. No. I had to go to a wedding a couple weeks ago, so I was nice and clean for that. But yeah, it's going back a little bit, but not much.
So now you got some work to do for your next return, whatever that may be. You'll have to have a full-fledged Terry Labonte mustache. We'll give you the wedding pass this time.
Yeah, I got a haircut yesterday too, so maybe I was just that little bit more aerodynamic, and that's maybe why I saved that little extra fuel.
Hey, that's fair. That could have been a whole different story if he didn't have that mustache. And wow, with that, I kind of forgot. I had a third thing, but I totally forgot what that is now. But I suppose it wasn't that important. The mustache was the burning question I did have.
Yeah.
So-
Yep. Nope.
Oh, actually, no, I do remember. So, it's been a while. I know Vic, he's muted right now, but he might not mute me. He might mute me and maybe
I can
unmute
hear
himself. I know. I know. But we haven't heard it in a while since you've been retired. And
Oh,
God. But maybe now it might have to have a different country with it or now.
Oh,
so,
man.
what are you going to do? I'm going to ask you. Oh. No way.
How did you?
Was Vic playing with us?
No, that was me.
I can't.
Oh,
He moved me. Wow. Carlos.
Carlos moved you.
I don't want to
Why
hear
would
it.
you do that?
But it might change. Johnny, the floor is yours. If you want to say it. If you don't, don't.
Yeah, I don't have any alterations, adjustments. I don't have any other versions of it. I wasn't prepared. I forgot. But it's coming Rome. Woo! Yeah. Woo. We got a World Cup coming up too. So I don't know. Maybe in 23A, you might see me. If I run and win, or I might have a different version. I don't know.
Ooh. All right. See now he might have some work to do for sure.
If it's something good, I will make sure
We've been
that
hit.
I'm back here next year.
Hit with the "It's Time to Stop" by Carlos.
Yeah, it's a classic. We had to.
I haven't seen it since the last time we interviewed Johnny.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know it's me, right? I can't stop talking.
You love winning.
So with that though, any shout-outs you want to give before we let you celebrate that win?
All right, I'm gonna run it down real quick. Thank you guys for broadcasting. You guys did a fantastic job. Sounds like it was a blast tonight. Thanks to Vic for allowing me to race and putting OSCA in the car. I want to thank DJ for spotting me and crew chiefing me and the rest of the guys, and keeping us calm because race 1 was a complete disaster from behind the driver's seat. But I got to thank my teammates. Well, but my drivers, whatever you want to call them, and in-law, Kynan and Jo, for their help throughout the night. Just kind of give me info whenever I needed it. And yeah, I think I got everybody. And I guess DSCR, because Vic put a DSCR logo on the side of my car. So let's go. Wednesday night Cup Series.
Yeah, so feel free to plug your own thing, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Wednesday night Cup Series. Let's go. That's it here on 3Y TV, too. So, yeah. That's it. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Johnny Eckert. Good to have you back up here in Victory Lane. Hopefully, we'll see you on a racetrack at some point in the near future.
Yes, sir. Potentially. You never know. See you guys. Know. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you bet. Matt, I'm liking how he kept the door open there for a potential another return because always entertaining Johnny Eckert and how he gets the wins. And tonight, here in half number 2, it was just a wild, circumstances that played out at the end. Who was going to make it, who wasn't, or who was not going to make it. Did that strategy work for the guys that came down pit road right as the green flag came out on restart? It was wow. It was just wild, and they put on a good show here at Spa.
Yeah, it was a fun one. We were starting the second half. There wasn't a whole lot of strategy in that first half. It was going to be like, all right, we're going to run this one out. And then we had that caution. We're like, okay, well, maybe they can make it, maybe they can't. Then we had some guys come top off, and we were like, okay, well, there's one strategy. And we had more guys come top off, and we're like, okay, there's another strategy. And then we had guys come top off as we went green. Oh, there's another strategy. And then we have guys pitting with 5 to go and staying out with 5 to go. I mean, it was a mess, a whole mess of strategy, but that is one mess that I'd love to watch and be a part of any day of the week. It was certainly a fun one here today.
It was a fun one indeed. I think they put on an excellent show here at Spa, but I'll be also looking forward to the throwback cars and the throwback racing at North Wilkesboro next week, right here on 3Y TV. Until then, for Matt, Carlos, and myself, until next time, good night now.